how to manifest a first date. That's what we're going to talk about today. Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we're going to talk about how to manifest a first date. Okay, so basically how to manifest somebody reaching out to you, whether it's first date, third date, or you want them to chase you. Okay, so if you haven't already subscribed, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell icon below because I do put out new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Each one of them with the intention that you're going to be able to create something wonderful in your life. And if you would like personalized coaching or a course on recreating people to be how you want them to be, definitely check out the links in the description below. So this is actually a subscriber's question back from the end of October. Sorry it took me so long. So basically your question is how to manifest a first date. Basically they've been talking on and off since November of last year. He's never asked me on a date though, and very seldom asked me to hang out in general, even if it's not a date. He's been very hot and cold in general. Even though text and calls, he will seem very interested 1 second and then ghost me for a few weeks and then come back and seem very interested again. Okay. So what I'm seeing right off the bat here from reading this is that we're looking at this guy like he's a separate person. We're very unsure about what he thinks about us, okay? And that we can never create from that, because we create and then other people will actually end up filling that gap, okay? So how things work to manifest is we got to become the thing that we want to be. And we've got to become the thing that we want to be in our mind, in our self-talk, in our own head, okay? So what needs to shift in this situation is that we need to be straight up with, no, this guy wants to date me. This guy is going to ask me for a date, and this is going to happen because I'm good enough. So we need to do a lot of telling him how he feels, okay? If you were to ask me how my boyfriend thinks about me in our relationship, I'll tell you he's crazy about me. He thinks I'm amazing. I'm the best girlfriend he's ever had. He loves living with me. He loves spending time with me. He has a great time around me. He loves coming home to me every single night from work. Okay, now whether he said any of those things or not, that's what I was already thinking. That's what I've created him to actually think about me. Okay, and because I've created that, he automatically, because he's me pushed out, he automatically has to actually think that. Okay, so if we're gonna live in indecisive land of does he like me, does he like me, does he like me, doesn't he like me, guess what's going to happen? Hot and cold behavior. Because every time we think, oh, maybe he's interested and he likes me, then all of a sudden he becomes really hot, he seems really interested, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh wait, no, maybe he doesn't, and then all of a sudden he gets cold and distance again. Okay, so he's not being hot and cold on his own accord. He's acting in direct relation to what our thoughts are about the situation. Okay, so how to manifest the first date is start creating and only thinking about what you want. So what would be the end of living in a first date? It would be that this guy wants to be with me. This guy wants to date me. This guy's crazy about me. I'm good enough to be in a relationship. I'm good enough for this guy to ask me out. In fact, I'm the prize here, right? So that's what your thinking would be if you went on that first date or he asked you for that first date. So your thinking has to be that now, okay? So no questioning whether he likes you or not. 100% he likes me. Keep telling yourself that. No questioning why he's hot and cold. No, he's always hot. He always is interested in me. He always shows up. He always wants to be with me. He always pays attention to me. In fact, he's going to ask me out, and he's going to ask me out now because I'm good enough and I deserve to go on this first date. I would assume that this guy's a little bit on a pedestal as well, because does he like me? Doesn't he like me? No, he likes me and I'm good enough for him to ask me on a date. Okay. So internal self-talk is what creates hot and cold behavior, and also questioning what the other person thinks about you. Okay. So both of those are never going to manifest a first date. So to manifest a first date, or really anything in a relationship, you have to assume that that's the way it is. So you have to assume that Jerry is absolutely in love with you, wants to go on a date with you, wants to be with you. And if you assume that, then Jerry has no choice because he's you pushed out to actually do that. Okay. So, you know, there is a little misconception sometimes about everyone is you pushed out, is that people are a mirror. So I remember another subscriber's question was like, well, you know what, my SP, specific person, is depressed. So that must mean that somewhere inside of me, I'm depressed. No, not necessarily so. People aren't a mirror reflecting back what's hidden in you. People are a mirror that reflect back the opinion that you project onto them, okay? Of course, you know, if you've got anxiety and worry towards a situation, then the person is going to have to manifest, you know, making more anxiety and worry towards you to give you more, because you're creating and you're putting that out there, so you're going to get more of it back, right? You know, so the thing is, right, is it's really about, you know, believing in yourself and believing that you are, you know, deserving of somebody wanting to be with you, and really ultimately, you know, creating that in your mind, you know, that that person does want to be with you. Okay. And as soon as you're like, yeah, no, they want to be with me and they're asking me out on a date, they'll do it. They'll show up. They'll be like, hey, you want to go on a date? Right. So, you know, the person's never going to do anything that you haven't already thought of first, because your thoughts are constantly going out to the universe, going out to the universe, going out to the universe. Okay. Whatever they're reflecting back to you is just what you've been projecting on them. And it's just feedback. Okay. If you don't like it, ignore it, create an intention that you want, okay? That's the name of the game. Be the observer of your life, right? And not a pawn being, you know, thrashed around in it, reacting to what's showing up in your reality, you know? So when he starts having cold behavior, you know, take a look at that. Start wondering, well, what my thoughts been? Like, you know, stay on top of your thoughts, because your inner world, your thoughts, your inner conversation actually creates your outer worlds, okay? So if you want to change your situation, change your inner world, change your inner conversations, change your thoughts, and then everything else in the world has no choice but to follow. That's what the law of attraction is. Okay, well, that's my video for today. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You guys are all amazing, and we'll see you in the next video.